Welcome to Side Trips, where I take a detour with your favorite authors and chat about their favorite passions, pet projects, and pastimes. And I'm so excited today, thrilled to be talking about Saving Ruby King and Catherine Adel West's brand new novel, as well as talking about her favorite pastime, which is traveling. So, Catherine, can you tell us a little bit about how you got the travel bug?
Yeah, I remember the first trip that I ever took was to Atlanta with my parents, and I remember getting on the plane. And this is like in the late 1980s, so people could just walk all around. There was no
Sure.
TSA, and I had no clue what being on an airplane involved. I thought it was kind of like it's a car but in the sky, so I felt like you could roll down the windows and like touch the clouds. You would kill everybody if a window opened. I didn't know. I'm like, no, I was like so disappointed when mom's like, no, that's not how that works.
What an adventure. I didn't get on an airplane to travel out of the Midwest until I was 35. I had my three kids. I'd been nowhere. I hadn't been out of the Midwest. And I really didn't start traveling until I started writing. And then that's when, I had an opportunity for a little more traveling. But I love it. I'm pretty much a homebody, but I do love the opportunity to go to places. So where has been, and I know you sent me some pictures, and sounds like you've been to some really great places. Where's your favorite place to visit?
Favorite, domestically or internationally?
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Put you
okay.
on
Well,
the spot.
favorite place to visit is Paris, but that's only because I think because I had so much fun there, and that was the first place I ever went internationally. And then I went again, and I took my mom, and we always have such a great time going there. Like the people, the food, the culture. I mean, it's just bar none. I love going to Paris. I mean, Notre Dame before it kind of had the fire, unfortunately, but they'll build that back up. The Eiffel Tower, and just like the little sections of France you would never think. I mean, just we walked around, found an old car show. Okay, and I know this is like the Americanist of the American, but their Starbucks is on point. It is
Oh, yeah.
on point. There was like a Starbucks up the street from our hotel, and they had something called like a banana Java chip frappuccino. I will never forget it.
Oh, wow.
It was the best thing I had ever had.
And they
Look,
don't have that
they
here?
didn't have that here. Like I've literally had to have them make it special. Like, yeah, can you add the banana syrup just with the Java chip frappuccino, please? And
Yeah.
then the person's gonna be crazy, like, what? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just it's something that I need. And then look, and then this is the Americanist of the American. So the first day my mom and I went there, the first time I went I was 27. The second time I went was 10 years later, and I was the first time I went I was 17, excuse me. The second time I went I was 27. And I went with my mom because she's like my favorite travel buddy. And so we went, and we were tired and it was jet lag, and we were just like, let's just like find a place to eat. And lo and behold, there was a Pizza Hut. And yes, we went to the Pizza Hut. Okay, we went to the other, nice French restaurants later, but like we were tired. It was jet lag. We wanted something familiar. We
Yeah.
went to Pizza Hut. But that pizza was good. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, like that pizza was on point. Like the Starbucks was on point.
I got a chance to
That
go to
was
London, and I did the same thing. I ate out all the great food, places to eat, restaurants, but I wanted pizza, and there was a Pizza Hut near my restaurant, or my,
right. Like you need something familiar every
yeah.
once in a while. So you know what I mean? Like people will go to like, Burger King, or it's that thing, the movie Pulp Fiction, when John Travolta is talking about McDonald's, and it's like they don't call it a quarter pounder, they call it a La Royale with cheese. So you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, because like you will go to someplace familiar at
Right.
first until you kind of get your culinary sea legs, and then you become a little bit more adventurous and you start
Exactly. Yeah.
going out. But yeah, it was great. It was like one of my favorite places.
Well, and you say that your mom is your favorite traveling buddy. What makes her such a great traveler to go with? Why
Yeah,
is
she's my only travel buddy. Essentially, she and my brother. I'm not
Yeah.
no my because my brother and I went to Vegas, and that was a whole another trip. That was
Oh, that's a story for another day.
that's a story for another day.
I want to
We're
hear
trying to sell. I'm trying to sell books. I can't tell you about.
it.
that trip was fun. I would just say the trip was fun. But the reason my mom is my favorite travel buddy is because she's very much like go with the flow, and she's like super, active. She's like, yeah, I'm up for it, let's do it. And she's always just so grateful for any and every experience that she gets to have. And my mom is also very well traveled, the United States in particular, because she's been to like, I want to say like 40 of the 50 states or something
Wow.
like that. So when we travel, well, not just inside of the country, but outside of the country, it's like a lot of fun. We have a great time. We tell jokes. We have fun. It's just the last place we went was Rome, and it was just like it was fantastic. We had so much fun.
Oh, good. I think that's key is having, if you are traveling with somebody, having a person who can go with the flow and just, embrace the experience. So,
Exactly, exactly. You don't want to go with somebody's like, "Are we going here?" Or "This is too much walking." Because like I walk, I walk everywhere. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, that's to me like one of the best places. One of the best ways you can explore. A different city is to walk the city if it's walkable. Like an eminently walkable place is Florence.
mm,
We literally walked from one side of Florence to the other side of Florence, and it was like no problem. Like it was such a walkable place, because I mean like the streets are so narrow, and I mean yes they're cars, but like a lot of people don't use their cars. So
mhm.
you walk everywhere. It's like cobblestone streets and like coffee, and
So when
the
you're navigating through these unfamiliar cities and towns, are you a map person, like a physical map? Do you use like GPS app on your phone, or do you wing it when you
wing it.
travel? You wing
We
it.
wing it, yeah, wing it with a little bit of GPS. The
Yeah.
thing is, I am obsessive before
Oh.
I go anywhere. So I knew that when my mom and I went to Hawaii, I knew that there was a place called Teddy's Bigger Burgers,
Hmm.
and I knew I wanted to try it because it's like In-N-Out Burger and Five Guys. It's like their burger place, right?
Right.
And it was close to the hotel, but I had to figure out how to get to the hotel, from the hotel to this place. And I remember, like, I just really researched. Like, I went on Google Maps, looked at it, researched it, but like looking at it on Google Maps is different from like when you're there
Right.
and you're like trying to navigate it. So then at that point, you kind of have to wing it a little bit. And like I said, when you're walking around someplace, a lot of times just winging it is the best way to discover something, unfamiliar and fun. And I mean, like winging it, I've ran into quite a few cute men. So I'm just, hey, wing it.
Yeah,
As
and you
much as
can't you can't do that if you're looking at a map. You can't. You don't know.
exactly, I
Yeah.
want to look at a man, not a map.
Yeah.
So
What
sometimes
easy choice there.
wing it. It's such an easy choice.
Oh, that's funny.
Those, especially in France, that was
Yeah.
yes, that was wonderful.
So, what trips or tips do you have for those of us who might not be as well traveled? What are some of your best tips for us?
So like I said, I wasn't an experienced world traveler. The first time I traveled internationally, I was 17, but I'm with a bunch of adults and they do everything for you. So the
Right.
first time I had to do this on my own, I was 27. So I would just say research, research,
Mhm.
research. Like you can, to me, never do enough research about where you're going, where you're staying, your different excursions, the city itself, customs. You can never do, to me, like too much um research. And then like also, try to learn a few phrases no matter, where you go. Like, I would, I'm sure I'll go to Japan in like the next few years, and you have to say, domo arigato. You know what I mean? Hello, goodbye, thank you, you're welcome. Like these are phrases. If you're going anywhere like internationally, like you should know those phrases. Like you're not going to really become fluent in a language, but just like, look like, at least make the effort.
Right.
And then I would also say, and I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you, be okay with going off of your itinerary. For me, sometimes it can be very hard because
Sure.
I'm very like rigid and structured when it comes to traveling. Everything else, I'm kind of like a mad hatter. But like when it comes to travel, I'm just very like at from 9 to 11 we're doing this, and from 12 to 1 we're doing this, and from 2 to 3 we're doing this. So like be okay sometimes with like going off of the beaten path, and meeting new people and trying new things. So those are some of the tips.
Those are great tips. So now for packing, are there some things that you just have to take with you no matter where you go? It it goes in your suitcase.
To my mom, who does not go in my suitcase. Let me see. I always need a good book,
Yeah.
obviously I need a good book. But for me, jeans, t-shirts, and flats. That's it. A lot of times I don't go to any place like super, fancy or anything like that. But like for me, just jeans and t-shirts. They're easy to pack. And I'm not a big fan of like checking luggage because I'm always afraid my luggage it's never happened, knock on wood. It's
Yes.
never happened, right? But I'm always afraid my luggage will get lost. So I just do a carry-on. Like I just have a carry-on and I really have nothing else. And apparently I am not the stereotypical female when it comes to that. But
I
yeah, I just
carry-ons too. I don't like checking.
yeah,
It's
I don't like
much.
checking my luggage. Like the only time I check my luggage literally is on an international trip because my mom makes me check the luggage, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to check my luggage because I'm just paranoid the whole time. Like they don't have like it's like in Wyoming and I'm in France and I'm just like, well, all right, it just get so like even on my carry-on I have like a couple of outfits just in case because like
Just
you never know.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the other thing that I need to have besides a book, jeans, t-shirts, and flats is yeah, like I said, is my phone, obviously, and not because like I need to be attached to talking to people. That's where I have all my music, which
Oh,
really kind of calms and relaxes me, and my mom, my travel buddy, and that's
yeah.
pretty much what it is.
It's perfect. It's all you need.
Yeah,
And I'm with you.
money. You need
Pardon
money.
me.
I said, and money, or else it's just
Yes.
like, yeah, you kind of need money. But
Yes.
other than that, yeah.
So I'm with you on bringing the book too. I always have to have a book when I travel, but we have to talk about your stunning novel, your debut novel, Saving Ruby King. I absolutely loved it, and so I knew I wanted to chat with you in some way, so we could, talk about you and talk about the book. So can you give readers just a quick insight into Saving Ruby King, what it's about, and why it would be good to take with them on a trip that they might be planning down the road?
It's a very good question, Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Saving Ruby King basically is about the lengths one friend will go to save her friend with a murder up in their tight knit church community. It's a book that will keep you, guessing. It has really great layered characters, people that you love to hate, and some plot twists and turns that you didn't see coming. I think that Saving Beacon will be a really great read while you're on a plane because, especially if it's like an hours long plane ride, it's an engrossing novel. You'll be so, just immersed in the characters and their predicaments that, by the time they say they're landing, you're going to be like, yeah, can you circle the airport a couple more times? I'm almost done. I'm not, hold on. We can land in Amsterdam in a little bit.
Got to finish this chapter.
Yeah, I know. I gotta finish this chapter real quick. The Anne Frank house is gonna be there. I need to finish this chapter, like
And
real
that's exactly how it is. I read it, I loved it, and we were talking earlier. One of your characters, because you write from different perspectives, which I love as a reader. I love reading books from different perspectives. But one of your perspectives was the church, the actual building in the story, and I just thought that was brilliant because if walls could talk, and the walls of that building, that church, sure, had seen a lot over the years. So I loved it.
Thank you so much. That's been so many people have said that they loved that character in the book, and I was so blessed and happy to write it. A former coworker of mine actually gave me the idea when he read like an earlier draft of Saving Ruby King. And he was like, what would be a good idea is if you make the church a character. And I was like, that's a brilliant idea. And I ran with it. His name was Luke. And he gave me just, yeah, I was so happy. I was like, that's a great idea. So like I totally ran with that idea. If I ever run into Luke, I definitely owe him a steak dinner.
Yeah. So what are you reading right now? Are you?
Right now, I am reading two books. I am finishing up These Ghosts Are Family by Maisie Card. I'm actually doing an event with her tonight.
Oh, great.
And her book is brilliant. And then I'm also reading The Last Story of Nina Lee by Nancy Kim.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah. Like this book is just it's phenomenal, and I'm really happy. But both of those books are just like so great. So if you haven't if you haven't gotten them, go get them along with my book.
Yes, adding those to my list for sure. Okay, and before we have to go, where is a place that you haven't visited that you would love to, that you just haven't had the opportunity yet, but it's on your list?
There are two places. One I mentioned, Amsterdam,
Yes.
and the next place is Tokyo, Japan. I think the only thing preventing me from going to Tokyo is the length of the airplane ride. Ooh, it was like, how can what's 15, 17 hours? I said,
A long time.
it's a long time. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to France, you're on the plane for about 9 hours. Italy, 9, 10 hours. And I mean, I'm like literally bouncing off of what am I going to do with my life for that amount of time? Luckily you have books and other forms of entertainment, but like you have to almost double that. Like, ooh, Tokyo might be a minute. I might have to go see a therapist to help me like woosah, like, cause it's just believe it or not, we're talking about traveling. I hate flying.
Oh, wow.
I hate it.
It's
But
you just have to get through that to get to where you want to go.
exactly, but I'm not gonna let my dislike of something prevent me from doing things that some people would view as like once in a lifetime opportunities. Like go to the top of the Eiffel Tower, go to the Coliseum, go to Hawaii and hula dance. Like, yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna have to kind of buck up, get over myself, put on my big girl panties, and do what I need to do. So that's another thing. And then like another book that I really like, that's about travel, a different type of travel, is The Time Traveler's Wife.
Oh, that was a great book.
Right? Because it's about travel, but it's about time travel.
That is. Yeah. I love that book. Yeah. That's
Like,
one I've been wanting to reread. I've not read it for a while. So.
Right? Neither have I. And plus it takes place in Chicago, a great portion.
Yes. Yeah.
So so that's like another book that I'll plan on rereading. But the two books that I mentioned previously, those are the books that I'm reading right now.
Well, those are great. It's been so much fun chatting with you, Catherine. Thank you so much for taking time to do this. I know you're super busy getting out there, talking about Saving Ruby King. And I know readers are going to love it who haven't picked it up yet, and they should be scrambling to go get it right now.
Thank you. I love it. Just run and go get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had such a great time talking with you, Heather, about like one of my other passions besides Saving Ruby King, which is traveling. And I am so super psyched for the book and for future travels. And I hope you are for your future travels.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Catherine.
Heather, you have a great one.